this article that I wrote for Bishop Barron,
Yeah.
I basically talk about how we can notice all these patterns in stories, and I do it, right? I make videos about movies and I interpret movies, showing how the pattern that is in scripture is really a cosmic pattern that can be found in all stories, from all time. And that you can find it in movies and comic books and video games and all in popular, and also in politics and in all these stories that are appearing around us. And it's good to do that. It's good to show people that that's it, but it can never be a substitute for participatory stories. It can never be a substitute for seeing the Christian story as your story, as you being a character in that story. So you can read Harry Potter and think it has that it shows us some pattern of reality, but you can't be in a Harry Potter novel. You
Yeah.
can't be in Marvel Avengers, right? And so we have to be careful not to confuse that, and to be able to recapture our participatory patterns rather than just the kind of outer, this kind of
Well, they give you this like little dopaminergic hit. It's almost like taking medicine versus actually like doing physical therapy and getting right. I mean, you get like you leave a movie, even something as obviously fake. You know you're in there, and Jordan's talked about this. Like you know you're in there, you know it's fake, like Harry Potter. There's nothing about you that believes anything's real going on, but you leave with a sense of excitement, and even like you're like excited about the world or like overcoming something, but it's so fleeting. Like you go home, you eat dinner or whatever, you go to bed, you wake up the next day, and it's not like you're like thinking about how can I manifest the story of Potter today? Like
yeah,
how can I live into the reality? It's done.
yeah.
Maybe you buy merch or you buy a book and you continue in that way, but it's this little mind hit. It's not like a participational.
Yeah. And so what's left in the participational world ends up being more political, and then
Yeah,
people get limited by the political sphere. And there's nothing wrong with the political sphere and political activity and being politically involved. It's just that if
only
you
that.
limit it to the political sphere, then there's nothing above transcending and uniting the different factions. There was a
You mentioned
time, let's
earlier,
say,
like a nation or a flag or whatever, right? There's got to be some transcendent collection or principle, right?
that brings us together. And so if you give up the highest point that brings us together, the logos, then you're going to devolve to the nation. But then the nation it's not going to hold. At some point you can hold it for a little while, and you can have the Pledge of Allegiance, like they tried that after World War II, right? They Pledge of
Sure.
Allegiance and God We Trust. They tried to identify the highest principle kind of with the nation, but it was just inevitable that would also come to fall apart.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a short game.